Welcome back, traders. Before the market opens, let's break down the key levels, market structures, and potential opportunity I'm watching out for in the markets, so that we can come into the markets with a plan and not emotion. So let's get started. Here, here on my outlook, we're starting with on my weekly outlook, we're starting with Great Britain pound USD. Yes, so now here is the daily time frame. If you notice, the last price action, the daily time frame printed, was bearish. Last price action was bearish. Let me tell you this. The last price action, the GBP USD printed out was what? Was bearish. So in essence, we are in a downtrend. But if you notice now, price seems to be reacting, creating a reaction here around this level. But that is that. Let's watch out here. So if price give us some sort of confirmation around this level, but that confirmation will have to do with the 4-hour structure, and we'll look for buy opportunities. What our bias on GBP USD is what? Is bearish. Our bias on GBP USD is bearish. So going to the 4-hour time frame to get the structural view. So if you notice 4-hour structure, you will notice that we have series of lower low, lower highs, and lower low, lower highs. This was what the last significant break of structure that occurred here. This was where it occurred. Sorry. Significant break of structure occurred here. This was where it occurred. So it occurred. Now, where are we going to mark out as our point of interest? The zones we are marking out as our point of interest now. We'll be looking for what? Since we are bearish on GBP USD, we're looking out for potential supply zones, right? So now the potential supply zone we can find here is what? We have this what? This base. After this, we have this base. This base. And after this base, what do we have? We now have a drop. A drop. We now have base again. We now have a drop. So base drop, base drop. So this is a type of bearish supply area, whereby the base, we mark the base as our supply area, or we can simply pick an order block. But here we look for a candle that will cover the entire base, right? So I have the supply area here. So I have the supply area here. Here's our first supply here, and here we have the supply here. So these are the zones I'll be watching out for what? On GBP USD. So we are bearish on GBP USD, watching out for these zones. Then going to our Euro USD. Euro USD is basically no, this week Euro USD movement was somehow different from GBP USD. But let's see. Here is here the same thing. Where was the last break of structure? The last break of structure occurred around here. It occurred around here. That was where the last break of structure occurred. That was where the last break of structure occurred. So we now have what? We have this low to watch out for. This low that caused the break of structure. So what will I be looking out for now? Let me know if I can see supply area on the 1 hour time frame. The only supply area I can find here now, price has already reacted from it, which is this base here. This base before the drop, price has already reacted from it here. Let's see. There is no sort of any liquidity sweep, no form of liquidity sweep here. No form of liquidity sweep. No form of liquidity sweep. Let me go to the daily time frame and check and see. In essence, we are bearish on EURUSD also. We are bearish, but there is no POI. I can't find any POI to sell from. So we just have to wait to see what the opportunity market might present. So in essence, we have this as our draw on liquidity. We have this as our draw on liquidity. There's this other block sitting on top also. So let's watch out for EURUSD, this two zone. And we have USD JPY. So this our POI has been since last week. Since last week, USD JPY has been consolidating. It has been consolidating. No clear structure, no clear PI. The only PI available here is this one we're waiting for down here. So we'll keep waiting for it. So this is where we'll wait for confirmation. So I'm bullish on USD JPY. Then let's see GBP JPY. GBP JPY, after reacting from this daily supply, last leg of price action for last week, the last price action, price printed out was what? Bearish. So on GBP JPY we are bearish. We are bearish. We have this demand here. So if we want to look out for buys here, let's start with either we can wait for this demand, but going to the forward to get a clear structure. Get a clear structure. Here you can see This was a change of character. This one was a fake break of structure because the structure broken is not real. It's not solid. So this break of structure is invalid to me. Very much invalid. So on GBP JPY we are bullish. On GBP JPY we are bullish. So but I have no point of interest yet. I will only wait for any reaction off of this refined demand, 4-hour refined demand. I'll only be waiting for price to get to this level. So I'm bullish on GBP JPY. But since the last leg has been pushing down, right, and we have this sort of structure that price have printed, whereby we have what? A high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Price hasn't break this low yet. Well, this lower high, lower low. So I will expect this supply. I'll expect some sort of reaction from this supply if price will get here. That is, if price will eventually get to this zone. I expect a reaction there if price will get to this zone. This supply is without structure here, so it's not valid to me. This supply here, there was no break of structure solidifying this supply here, so we'll leave it at that. Either this structure or this structure. So these are the two zones we'll be looking at for on GBP JPY. Then going to gold. From here you know that gold has been pushing down. From the daily time frame you know that gold has been pushing down. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame to mark our structure. Break of structure. Price reacted from the supply here. Took out this draw on liquidity, giving us a break of structure. Well, now reading the internal structure here, we have this break of structure here. Followed by this one also. Let me go to the daily time frame first. This internal structure formed major structure. So remove this one here. This is external structure, break of structure, and work with this break of structures, this market structure, because that is where the last leg, the last price action from the daily time frame indicates. So we'll count this. So we have this break of structure, and we have this break of structure. Then this should be high, some sort of invalidation zone. Then we're watching out for this. Watching out for this supply. Watching out for this supply. Watching out for this supply. And this supply also. I'll call this a weak break of structure. As weak POS. So in essence, price might take this high as liquidity. So wait for this supply here. Let me mark the overall base. Let me take this candle as base instead of the order block. So this is where we're waiting for gold to get some reaction. Going to BTC USD. BTC USD, BTC USD. BTC USD is essentially the same thing. From the daily time frame, you can see the price action, recent price action was bearish. So go to the forward to get our structure. And as you can see, that's what was playing out. You have this break of structure. I'll just call it weak POS. Or should I call it liquidity sweep, because structure isn't broken, it's a body. Followed by this break of structure. And followed by this. Be waiting here. We are bearish on BTC. We are bearish on BTC. Let me go to the weekly time frame and see what BTC is saying first. In essence, we are bearish. We are bearish on BTC. So waiting for that supply up there. That's where I will wait. This supply. So let's wait for the supply there. I think that will be all for now. That will be all for our weekly outlook. Then the rest I will drop it to those. For other peers, so we only privileged for those in my Telegram channel. So do well to join if you are interested. If you are interested to journey with me, do well to join my Telegram channel. So we'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.